My size Barbie did and did not teach me about rape culture. In 1992, the same year my brother was born, Mattel came out with My Size Barbie, a 3-foot-tall plastic mannequin version of their best-selling toy, Barbie. She came dressed in a sparkly pink gown, which could be converted to a tutu or a swimsuit by adjusting the skirt. 3 outfits for the price of 1. What a value. Her arms and legs moved on a pivot at her shoulder and hip joints. We could high five, I thought. We could hold hands. We could wear matching outfits. I had to have her. I was totally the kind of controlling, creepy child who would rather hang out with a doll than a person, and I may or may not still be that creepy. A doll did everything I wanted, and I could project all my imaginings and anxieties onto her with no feedback or judgment. For Christmas that year, My Size Barbie moved into our house, and for a while it was BFF Central. Then, after some time, she got boring. I didn't really want to hang out with her anymore after I got real friends, but my parents had spent too much money on My Size Barbie to throw her out, especially when my sister was born and they thought she might want to play with her someday. So, My Size Barbie ended up shoved in my closet, half buried under a pile of clothes fallen from the hangers. I forgot her there, except for when I had to dig underneath her to find a pair of shoes. Cut to 6 years later. I was 12. My mom, a full-time babysitter, took on 2 new charges, Holly and Lenny, siblings. Holly was around my age and Lenny was my brother's age, so it seemed like a perfect match. Lenny had some problems with behavior, let's put it that way. He destroyed our belongings, made a mess of our home, and worst of all in my eyes, invaded my room when I was not looking. That was how he and My Size Barbie met. He saw her hand reaching desperately out of the closet, and instead of pulling her out, he went in. I went into my room one afternoon and found him there, pressing My Size Barbie down into the pile of my old sweaters and humping her smooth plastic body as if his life depended on it. He was humping like someone was cheering him on. His face was screwed up in concentration so much that he did not even notice me. I did what any girl of my disposition would do. I tattled on him. I quietly left the room and went to get my mom, who hauled him out of the closet by his ankle and put him in timeout. You might think this would have meant the exile of My Size Barbie from our home. Obviously, she was a temptress, right? If she hadn't been lying around naked, Lenny wouldn't have wanted to hump her. But no, she stayed in my closet, and I kept finding Lenny there too. Eventually, he encouraged my brother to join him. The 2 of them taking turns assaulting her, and my mom started to think it was funny. Funny that my poor defenseless Barbie was being ravaged by 2 boys, too young to even have pubes. Why did Lenny even know how to hump as a 1st grader? Why did he think it was okay to do that to my toy, even after I told him not to, and an adult did too? What if there had been life-size Ken, and I decided to grind into the crotch of his body? Would that have been funny? Would that have been accepted? Probably not. It can be easy to impart significance to insignificant events in retrospect. I'm not saying Barbie got raped. She's plastic, a toy. It's like saying a blow-up doll got raped. But on the other hand, Lenny was obviously convinced that his own desires were more important than any rules my mother set out for his conduct. A belief he proved many other times as well, like when he drew on the walls, ate an entire box of Nutty Bars from our pantry by himself, or jumped on the couch, literally jumped on the couch for hours. My mother had to choose between amusement and frustration at his antics on a daily basis, and in this case, she chose to see the humor in a little boy humping a doll. Lenny appears from his Facebook to have turned out fine. He's probably not an extreme case or even a negative one, but culture and its expectations are built and perpetuated in small ways, day by day, not only in the tragedies and victories that end up on the news. And like many of those cases, in this case, the victim, not the perpetrator, was the one punished in the end. My Size Barbie ended up sleeping with the fishes somewhere in the Danville, Indiana landfill. after Lenny drew a mustache and bushy eyebrows on her with a Sharpie.
Oh, man.
Rest in peace, lady. Rest in peace. So the other thing that I wanted to read tonight is about, so I had this experience a few months ago in Cincinnati